Today's video is designed to highlight all the auction rules so you as an owner selling or you as a buyer or an interested community member knows how the auction process works. Firstly, there is no late bids. That's probably the most newest rule added to the auction rules in Victoria. No late bids. What that means is once the property is sold, once the property is knocked down to another buyer, then no one else can buy the home. No one else can bid, and the auctioneer cannot accept any late bids. So if the property's been knocked down to you, then it's sold and no one else can increase it. So very important, if you're a buyer and the auctioneer is counting down 3 times, you get your bid in before they say sold, or before the contract hits the palm, I should say, because then it's too late and they can't reopen the bidding. The vendors have a reserve price. So the vendor is the owner selling the property. They have a reserve price. That is the figure that they will minimal sell for. And once this figure is hit and the owner or the auctioneer, I should say, announces the property on the market. So hit the reserve price, the property is now on the market and selling. Once you hear words like that or similar to that, then the property is being sold, okay? So every auction in Victoria, the owner has to sign off on a reserve price before the auctioneer can commence. The auctioneer must indicate bidders upon your request. So if you're in the crowd and you want to know where the bids came from, you can simply request the auctioneer to say, where's the bid? Say where's the bid to the auctioneer? And the auctioneer will have to indicate where the bidders are so that it's transparent and you know exactly what's happening. There's no late bids. As I said, there's no false bids. So an auctioneer can't just pluck out bids from the sky, and that's why if you want a bid to be indicated, the auctioneer has to do that. That's called dummy bidding. It used to be a thing of the past, but it no longer happens. Well, definitely our company doesn't practice it, so no fake bids. There's no major disruptions, okay, meaning you can't make a scene or something and disturb the auction, and there is no preventing other people from bidding. If you try and prevent someone from bidding, there's fines for all this conduct. For dummy bidding or fake bidding, or there's fines as well. There's a thing called vendor bid. Now that's where an auctioneer actually bids on behalf of the owner, okay? So an auctioneer might say vendor bid, and the reason why they do this is no one's bidding and they're far off the reserve price, what the figure that the owner will sell for, so they place what's called a vendor bid. And they say, and they have to announce that it's a vendor bid. They can't just say 550 or 1 million. They have to say $1 million on a vendor bid, okay? And then that way you know that it's just a bid to play a little bit closer to market value, just to set the scene and just to guide you more on where the property value should be. The auctioneer can refuse a bid, meaning you give an increment and the auctioneer says, no, sorry, you need to go higher than that. This is the increment that we're looking for. So the auctioneer can determine that amount. The auctioneer can determine the increment. They can say no to any bid for whatever reason. They can also determine the increment. So if you want to go in 5s, they can decide, no, we're going in 10s. I generally don't advise auctioneers to do that, but it's a legal allowance, I should say. Auctioneer is allowed to do that. Before the property is announced on the market, before it's sold, the owner can actually withdraw the property from sale at any time before the end of the auction. So for whatever reason the owner decides not to sell, they can withdraw the property from sale. An auctioneer can refer to an owner or the vendor during the auction. So at any time, the auctioneer can pause the auction, go inside and talk to the owner and come back out. They might do that because the owner's changing a settlement time or changing their reserve price or what have you. So, and the auctioneer needs to seek instructions from the owners just in case, or a buyer might ask a question. The auctioneer says, one moment, I'll see, goes inside, talks to the owner. If there's a dispute concerning a bid, the auctioneer will go to the most recent undisputed bid, or they'll start the whole bidding process again. So if there's a dispute, who's got the highest bid, or 2 people bid at the same time, the auctioneer will go to the most recent undisputed bid, and if that still can't be decided, then they can just start the whole bidding process all over again. A major rule if you're a buyer is that you need to know the highest bidder rule, and that is if the auction is under the reserve price, the selling figure that the owner will sell for. And then if you are the highest bidder, you have the only right in Victoria to to buy the house immediately within fair, reasonable time after the auction. So always best to be the highest bidder. Either way, if they're under the reserve price, you get that exclusive right to treat for the negotiation and the purchase of the home immediately after the auction. Or if you're the highest bidder and you're above the reserve price, then guess what? You get to buy the home. So look, they're the auction rules. If you do have any questions, ask one of our friendly team members. We're here to help you.